obviously the GOAT and Tom Brady, and that drew a lot of attention as well for teams to try to sign with them, right? So you can trade for these guys. They might already be on your team as a backup. And then you have the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, a second round pick. Not so what's my point here is none of these guys who made it to win Super Bowls recently were first round picks. Sure, you could be a successful competitive team like the Bills or the Ravens if you hit on that quarterback and he's top 5 even, but even they, after paying him and paying those guys, are struggling to fill out their rosters and compete with the Chiefs. So my point is that there is actual evidence to suggest that, I think the way to build NFL teams, especially nowadays after watching this happen for years and decades, that the GOATs just win. And if it's not them, it's just going to be the best team. You need to prioritize building these rosters and stop thinking you're going to get the next Patrick Mahomes. And in this year's draft class, I mean, I'm not saying these guys can't be good, but do you think any of them are going to be on Patrick Mahomes' level? You never really know, but I'm just not going to bet on it, and I don't think anyone else is either. Oh yeah, one more. Peyton Manning, another veteran guy who won in just at the very beginning of the decade at 39 years old. He was acquired at 36 years old by the Broncos, and he wasn't even playing his best ball, obviously, in his last year. So there you go. Russell Wilson, third round pick. That's another one. So I know this is dragging out a little bit, but I really want to lay out my reasoning for this. The only guys who were first round picks to win recently were Joe Flacco and Eli Manning. Of course, I'm, not counting Patrick Mahomes. And that was a whole different era. That was over a decade ago. So all of these teams, like I said, they were good before they got these quarterbacks. The Chiefs with Alex Smith, even before they got Patrick Mahomes, they were a playoff team. The Eagles, like I said, they had managed to make the playoffs and set themselves up with the 1 seed before Nick Foles even stepped in there. The Rams made the Super Bowl with Goff. The Bucks, they might be kind of an exception. They did have the Jameis Winston 30 touchdown, 30 interception season before going 7-9, but obviously Tom Brady going there drew a lot of attention. And that's something you also have to consider is upgrading your quarterback is going to draw other players to want to go to your team because that's going to signal to them that you're all in to win the Super Bowl. So all of this, I believe this is sort of undeniable at this point, honestly, if you ask me. Of course, you could have a class like last year where you might have hope that some of these guys could be a top 3, maybe even on Mahomes' level, you could hope, but it's I don't think it's this year. So unless you have the next Patrick Mahomes, you're way better off investing in the team. It's a way safer floor, right? You might not get quite as high as the ceiling as getting a guy like a Jaden Daniels, but it's still all got to go right for them.